Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard for WELSHYTECH, and today we will be taking a look at the RTX 5060 from Gigabyte. This is the AERO OC, but I've also got the gaming OC here for comparison. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so what we'll start off with first of all is the clock speeds. Now, the clock speed of this, it is actually an overclocked version, so it is 2595 megahertz. The reference card will be 2497. This particular card has 3840 CUDA cores. It has a memory clock of 28 gigabyte. It's got memory size at 8 gigabytes. This does come in a 16 gig variant as well. The memory type is GDDR7. The memory bus is 128-bit. The card bus is PCIe 5.0. The digital max resolution is 7680 by 4320. The multi-view is 4. Card size 281 by 117 by 40. The PCB form is ATX. It does have DirectX 12 API, OpenGL 4.6. It does have a recommended power supply of 550 watts. The power connector is an 8-pin, and it does have an output of 3 DisplayPort 2.1s and 1 HDMI 2.1. Now, the key features of the AERO, of course, will be the overall cooling. So, it does have the WindForce cooling system. It has the Hawk fans with a server-grade thermal conductive gel. That will be the thermal paste. It does have RGB lighting. It also does have a dual BIOS, performance and silent, with an reinforced structure. So this is the 5th gen tensor cores, so that'll be for DLSS 4, and of course some of the key features of this are probably going to be the shroud, because it does say feel the chill WindForce cooling system. Now, it does have 3 fans, of course. They are the Hawk design. They are server grade thermal conductive gel. It does have a copper base as well as a composite heat pipe, and it does have screen cooling as well. Astonishing exterior design. RGB lighting, excellent in essential, reinforced structure with a dual BIOS, performance and silent mode. Power indicator, which is fantastic. But this is also the differences between these two cards is actually just primarily aesthetics. But as you can probably see with the OC, the gaming OC, it does have a black shroud with more accents towards their gaming line, and then the AERO then is obviously white with a lot more different aesthetic features. Okay, so what we'll do first of all is we'll start off with the system specifications. Well, it is my AM5 platform, so Ryzen 9 7900. It's got 32 gigs of DDR5 from APSA. It's got a Sapphire B850 motherboard. It does have a 1000 watt Core-Link power supply. It's housed in the Be Quiet Shadow Base 800 FX case. Now, when it comes to testing, I've done 1080p high as well as 1440p high. I've also done some DLSS as well as some 3D Mark testing, and I've also done some thermal testing. So first of all, we start off with the 1080p high. For Far Cry 6, the averages were 122 with a 1% low of 103. Starfield was an average of 88 with a 1% low of 72. Indiana Jones was an average of 66 with a 1% low of 59. Hogwarts Legacy was an average of 90 with a 1% low of 74. And F24 was an average of 202 and a 1% low of a 159. When it comes to the 1440p resolution, this is high, no ray tracings. For Far Cry 6, the average was 116 with a 1% low of 81. The Starfield average was 69, nice, with a 1% low of 54. The Indiana Jones was an average of 59 with a 1% low of 42. Hogwarts Legacy was an average of 101 with a 1% low of 86. And then F124 was an average of 167 and the 1% low was 135. So we'll get to the 3D Mark tests now. For Port Royal, the GPU test was 41.3 FPS with an overall score of 9014. The Solar Bay Extreme was GPU test at 93.45 FPS with a 13,363. Times by Extreme was a GPU score of 6,539 with a CPU score at 9,406. Then the overall score was a 6849. When it comes to the DLSS, I did do Hogwarts Legacy, and this was at 1440p high, and I did two different variants. It was quality and balance. So for quality, the average was 134 with a 1% low of 96. Balance was an average of 108 with a 1% low of 82. And then when it comes to the overall thermals, I did do a 20-minute Thermark 2 test. So for the default settings, this was all at default. The GPU temp idle was at 30 with a max of 58, and the GPU junction temp was an idle of 40 with a max of 60 Celsius. So what I'm actually going to do here is put up a percentage graph. It's going to show you what the performance percentage is this against the 9060 XT and the 5050 that I've got here, the RTX 5050. It's going to show you what percentage they do go in the graph. So obviously it's going to give you the overall percentage. It's going to tell you which card performs the best, and I will put it into individual gaming tests so you guys will know exactly which card performs the best. And then obviously toward the end then I will put or at least I might put in a price to performance graph as well. Okay then, so what did you think of that? Now of course I did say obviously at the beginning I've got two different variants. Now I've got the Gaming OC and then I've got the AERO. Now personally I prefer white products because white products look particularly very nice, especially when you're taking photos. Now I do like the Gaming OC as well. I do like the overall stealth aesthetics. It does look very striking. The backplate, I don't really see the point, and from what I can see by here, there's no thermal pads, so it's not actually doing anything. But I mean, for the aesthetic purpose, it looks absolutely stunning. Now, the AERO, of course, this is the main one. This one is absolutely gorgeous. Now, the price of this one is £330 on scan. I've seen it on just below that, about £329 or £28 on Amazon. Now, obviously, the RX 9060 XT obviously outperforms this. It's got double the RAM, and of course for raw GPU performance that beats it. But obviously if you're looking for like the RTX or the DLSS, because that does generally perform a bit better than AMD, then of course the DLSS is definitely good for the Nvidia card. But what I'm going to say between these two is really purely aesthetics. Now Gigabyte offered one of these. They said, right, okay, well, you can have a look at one of them. And then they came back and said, well, we got two, but technically we got two, but they're basically the same card, but they're both different in aesthetics. They said, do you want both of them to do a comparison? And I thought, well, I'm not going to review both or test both, but what I will do is take two, because they offered two, so I took them. And I would like to do an aesthetic comparison, because both of them obviously is going to be really dependent on which aesthetic you like. So obviously the black is a bit contrast with a lot of builds, but I believe the white is a lot nicer. But whether you agree with me or not, that's really up to you. So if you're looking to buy one of these or any of the cards, the graphics cards I've actually featured, then I will leave links down below. Big thank you to Gigabyte. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and weekend ahead of you. Don't forget to subscribe, because I've got absolute tons of stuff coming. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.